I mean, he even says something about how young people deserve more than just entertainment. They deserve art.
Which is so true, right? Art has the power to stay with you long after the credits roll.
Totally. To make you question things, maybe even inspire you to make your own art.
There you go. That's what I think he wants. He's calling on young people to find their own voices, their own stories to tell, which, I mean, come on, what's more powerful than that?
Absolutely. All right, ready to dive in. We're taking a deep dive into Emil H. Johnsvik and his film, God Mode Digital Murder.
Oh, interesting.
It's being called like this really fresh take on films for young audiences.
Okay, I like it.
And we're really lucky we actually have some statements from Johnsvik himself and
Oh, cool.
a behind-the-scenes video.
Nice.
So we're going to try to unpack his vision,
Yeah.
right? What is he going for with this film? And how's he going to hit those younger audiences?
Yeah, I'm really interested in this whole idea he's mentioned about blurring the lines between, what's real and what's digital,
Right.
which feels super relevant, especially now.
Totally. And the thing about Johnsvik is he doesn't even really call himself a director. He calls himself a film and video artist.
Yeah.
So right away, we're not talking about your typical like Hollywood blockbuster,
Yeah, it's like he's coming at this from a totally different angle.
Exactly. It's about creating this whole visual experience.
And I think that's what's so exciting about his work. He's not afraid to experiment, to really push the boundaries of what film can be.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he wants to like really shake things up,
Ah,
I mean, he's used words like inspire, change, dream, create.
Right.
Like he wants to do more than just entertain.
exactly.
He's trying to say something with this film.
Absolutely. And, when you look at the themes he's tackling, grief, gaming, hoping, these are things that really resonate with young people today, but they're not always explored in a way that feels authentic.
Yeah, and I think that's where his background as a film and video artist really comes into play, right? He's not afraid to get kind of like, artsy with it.
Yeah, he's using those artistic instincts to create something that's both visually stunning and emotionally resonant.
Yeah, he's not talking down to his audience. He's saying, hey, you guys are smart. You get it,
Absolutely. And that's so important, especially for young viewers who are constantly being bombarded with like surface level entertainment.
He's treating them like the film buffs they are, or,
Yeah.
could be.
Totally. And in a way, he's almost bridging that gap between generations, right?
Right.
Well, he's taking these themes that are so relevant to young people today, technology, gaming, online identity, and he's exploring them in a way that's both accessible and thought-provoking.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, like, he's creating this space where different generations can come together and connect over these shared experiences.
That's all
And I think that's something we really need right now.
for sure. Yeah, I totally agree.
This idea that, like, film can be this bridge between generations, between different ways of seeing the world.
Exactly. And it's something that Johnsvik seems to be really passionate about.
Definitely. And, it's not just about entertainment, right? It's about using film as a tool for understanding, for empathy, for starting important conversations.
Yeah, like he's saying, hey, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's have a real conversation about the things that matter.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about, like, his overall vision, what he wants to do.
Right.
I kind of want to get into, like, the actual film itself.
Yeah.
What it looks like, what it feels like.
Yeah.
You actually got to see the behind-the-scenes video.
I did.
What'd you think?
Oh, man. It's visually striking. It's really beautifully shot. You can see that background as that video artist, like we were saying, shining through.
Yeah, and how does that connect, you think, with his whole thing about blurring those lines between reality and the digital world?
There are moments, honestly, that are almost dreamlike,
Yeah.
and the transitions, especially between those, like, intense gaming scenes that he's got,
Yeah.
and then, like, these quieter moments where it's just the characters, dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
So we're talking about like a multi-layered kind of narrative here.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like he's exploring all these different facets of, like, what it means to be a young person in this digital age.
And not just like the fun stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Like he's not shying away from those, like
Not at all.
the darker sides.
Yeah,
of-
the addiction or
Yeah.
that feeling of being lost in a game in a virtual world.
There's this one shot, I don't know if you remember it, where they show Tom, who's the main character, and he's totally plugged into this VR game.
Oh, yeah.
And the way Johnsvik frames it,
Yeah.
It's like he's literally being sucked into the screen.
Yeah, it's powerful imagery.
And it's such a good, I don't know, it's like metaphor.
It is. It's a really smart visual metaphor for that feeling of like losing yourself in technology.
Which is something, I mean, we've all felt that, right?
For sure, yeah. That feeling of being so absorbed in something that you lose track of everything else.
Totally.
And the fact that he can capture that so effectively on film is a testament to his skill as a filmmaker.
Yeah, like he knows what he's doing with that camera.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
He's using it to tell a story, to evoke emotions, to make you think.
And he's speaking to like this whole generation.
Yeah,
You know,
it is.
these kids who've grown up with this technology.
It's like he's saying, hey, I see you. I get it. You know, this is what it feels like.
Yeah, and I think that's really powerful for, you know, for young people to see themselves reflected back in that way.
Absolutely. It's validating.
Wow.
It's saying your experiences matter.
Yeah.
Your stories are worth telling.
It's almost like he's like challenging those old ideas about what a movie for, you know, a younger audience can be.
It's refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah.
This idea that like entertainment and, you know, something that makes you think, they're not mutually exclusive. And it's not just about changing the way we make films, right? It's about like shifting our whole perspective on who young people are.
Yeah, and like what they're capable of, you know, like their ability to like engage with something real.
Yeah, to think critically, to feel deeply, to handle complex themes.
Exactly.
He's not like underestimating them at all. He's meeting them right where they're at.
And like imagine, you know, if more films did that right.
Right.
Like treated a younger audience like they could handle it.
It's exciting to think about the kind of films we could be making.
Right. The stories we could be telling.
Absolutely. And the impact those stories could have.
For sure.
And, you know, what I find really inspiring about Johnswick is he's not just, you know, talking about it. He's actually out there, like, making it happen. Doing it. He's creating the kind of film that he wants to see in the world.
That's awesome.
But I think that's a really powerful example, you know?
Yeah.
For other filmmakers, for artists in general.
For sure.
Like, don't wait for permission. Just go out there and create.
Yeah, and it makes you think, like, what can we be doing to support more people like that?
Absolutely. It's a question worth asking.
You know? Like, how can we lift up these filmmakers who are trying to push boundaries and do something different?
Right. Because ultimately, it's about giving young people, you know, access to those stories, to those experiences.
Yeah, like more like a wider range of stuff.
Exactly. A more diverse and enriching cinematic landscape.
I like that, a cinematic landscape.
Yeah. One that, like, challenges them.
Yeah.
Inspires them, helps them make sense of the world.
That's what it's all about, right?
That's it.
So, okay, wrapping it up here. We've been talking about God Mode, Digital Murder.
Emil H. Johnswick.
Such a cool film.
Yeah. And I think the thing that we keep coming back to is just, like, don't underestimate a younger audience.
For sure.
Like, they're smart, they can handle it.
They get it.
And let's, you know, like you were saying, like, support those filmmakers.
Yes.
We're really trying to, like, say something.
Absolutely.
And you know, hopefully
yeah.
this is just the beginning, right?
I hope so.
Like, maybe Johnswick's film is the thing that, like, kicks off this whole new wave of
that would be amazing.
Awesome cinema for a younger audience.
I would love to see that.
I think so too.
It's definitely a possibility.
For sure.
Something worth hoping for.
Genom alla falska skärmar. De försöker tämja mig, jag spränger deras murar. Aktivera mitt inre godmode på. Jag tar kontrollen, det är dags att slå. Varje digital fjant, deras tid är förbi. Jag raderar deras makt, gör världen fri. Rädd var och jag står emot.